Hello and welcome everyone to the first, I don't know if it's annual, I don't know if it's semi-annual, I don't know if it's the last one we'll ever do, PHLY Sixers edition of Sixers Jeopardy. I am your host, Kyle Neubeck. In the producer's chair, as always, super producer Bree. With me today, two esteemed contestants, two people who consider themselves Sixers experts. We're going to find out exactly how much knowledge that they have about the Sixers, about the NBA. To my immediate left, from the Winfield section of Philadelphia, former radio host, now the primary host of PHLY Sixers, Devon Givens. Devon, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. Excited. Looking forward to it.
Longtime fan of the show,
Longtime fan of the show. I should have came with a collared shirt like you, and I'm regretting my decision now.
We did forget to bring ties and jackets and whatnot. We were going to do it a little more professionally. Yes. Even the host is only in a polo, so I think T-shirts in the summertime are perfectly acceptable.
I did bring a tie. It was going to be a tie and a T-shirt day, but I don't think
you were introduced over there, sir. I'm just messing with you.
Take points away from him.
He's losing points before the game starts. On the far left, the bespectacled friend of ours on the end from Emmaus, Pennsylvania, in the Lehigh Valley, former scout, now one of the hosts of the PHLY Sixers podcast, Derek Bodner. Derek, how are you today?
I'm doing well and blind as always, as you pointed out. Thank you.
I didn't call you blind. I said bespectacled. You're distinguished.
Oh, all right.
So
there you go.
Some of you who follow me on Twitter and other platforms know that I myself am a normal Jeopardy fan. It was a show that was on quite a bit in my house growing up. It was really part of the reason I'm here talking about basketball or sports is that my dad and I bonded over sports growing up. And so first as a kid, you're like, oh, sports everything. And you just assume your dad knows everything there is to know about that. And then I start to watch Jeopardy with my dad, and it's like, wow, he knows way more about a lot of stuff than I thought. And like history stuff, that's the category in normal Jeopardy I really struggle with personally because I slept through most of AP Euro in high school, which turns out is a big part of the the Jeopardy category. But now I watch it quite a bit at home with my wife, a couple times a week, more than likely. So we thought in the summertime with, very little going on in the Sixers universe, we'd start to do some fun shows like these on a Friday.
Yeah.
Devon and Derek have not been prepared whatsoever what the categories are, what type of questions are going to be asked. We will only be doing one round of Jeopardy and one final Jeopardy. So there won't be double Jeopardy where the questions get harder and the point values go up. I did try to make it so that there are some that if you don't get them right, the viewers and the host and probably Bree and Jaden, who's in here today with us, will be disappointed in. There'll be others that if you know them, I will be shocked and I will, give a proverbial tip of the cap to you.
Okay.
Prior to today's show starting, we had a coin flip to determine control of the board. Control of the board goes first to Derek. So Bree, if you would like to reveal today's categories for the viewers at home and to our contestants.
Whoa, look how official that looks.
We have.
Look at that.
We talking about Iverson, award winners, Wilt facts, there's only one doctor in Philadelphia, and process this. And all of those are in categories from 100 to 500 points.
Okay.
We went away from the Jeopardy dollar values for the categories because this game doesn't, unfortunately, allow you to use those. Derek, you have control of the board. You may select first.
I'm going to start with award winners for 100.
All right.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Bree? All right, this Sixer is the only non-80s player to make at least 3 appearances on an NBA all-defense team. Derek.
Who is Andre Iguodala?
Incorrect. That is minus 100 points for Derek.
Okay.
Would you like to buzz in, Devon?
This Sixer is the only non-80s player to make at least 3 appearances on the... I would like to buzz in and say, who is Dikembe Mutombo?
Incorrect.
Oh, well, I was going to ask, does it have to be...
I should have well, it is for the Sixers.
Okay.
The answer is Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
He's the only one.
Okay.
to make 3 all-defense teams as a member of the 76ers, other than, I
But Tom-
believe it's Mo Cheeks and
Bobby,
I don't remember. Bobby Jones is the other one. Yes.
So the only reason I said Mutombo because we didn't specify that.
Yeah, I was
Right.
Yes.
Well, after I said Iguodala, which I knew was wrong right from the moment I said it, I thought Mutombo, but then I thought, well, it obviously wouldn't be in Philadelphia. He wasn't long enough to be there for 3.
Yes. So that will user error on behalf of the host here.
So
that there was
both
not
negative
clar-
100.
You're
We're
both
both-
at minus 100 to
Good
start
job.
the game.
Good job.
But yeah, I mean, so some of that speaks to. We're going to do some segues here in between questions. Some of that speaks to how good defensively they were in the 80s or the early 80s, late
Absolutely.
70s, right? Between Bobby Jones, Mo Cheeks. You have Dr. J, who was not primarily known as a defensive guy, but someone who could create a lot of steals, a lot of blocks from the forward position. Moses comes in, he cleans the glass. That was what struck me when I went back and watched those teams, is how many guys they have that were either high level for their position or at least able to bring something to the table to help those guys.
And it also goes to the Joel Embiid part for him to be the answer. The fact that he's made there are only 2 all defensive teams, so for him to make quite a few of those, Rudy Gobert, I'd imagine, was a lot of the years in front of him
First
at that
team,
center
first
position.
team, first team.
Yeah, exactly. And for him to be second, it was talked about a lot. He would then campaign for Ben Simmons also as the all defensive type of player. I thought, what's funny? I thought about Matisse, but he had only made 2.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why I went away from Thibault and went with the Mutombo part. But
Then the other
Embiid,
obvious
though.
one was, what did Ben make, 2?
I believe
Ben made 2.
Ben made first team once. Or did he make first team twice? I just know that
He made 2.
You got to remember, I was preparing all of these.
Yeah.
The stuff I didn't need to know all got filtered out. So I don't remember all of it to a T. I just know that the answers aren't correct ultimately.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's a good start though.
One of the gimme questions or closer to gimme questions.
It was
minus 100 for both of them. So
one.
let's see how much tougher it gets from here.
So let's go to process this for 500.
500.
500. Go
Get
for
this out
the
of the way.
gauntlet.
After playing his final NBA game with the Sixers in 2015, Jason Richardson signed with this hapless Eastern Conference team before retiring due to medical issues.
I'm like 40%. Fuck it. Who is the Orlando Magic?
Incorrect.
Damn it.
To be a little generous, unfortunately for Derek, you were in the right division.
Okay.
I'd say that.
Yeah, so I'll buzz in on that one and say at the time, who were they? The Charlotte Hornets.
Incorrect. You guys are minus 600.
I feel like not answering is copping out, though. Don't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, we're doing it to have fun.
Oh yeah, I'm answering.
Bree, can you reveal the answer?
Who
are
is
the Atlanta Hawks?
I don't remember
He
that.
signed with
at all.
Atlanta, and then I was going to make a very different reference that I'll talk to you about after the show. Maybe you'll get it without me saying it. He had bone spurs at the time, so that forced him, along with the knee issues that he battled toward the end of his career.
Yeah, but I thought it was Charlotte. Gene Ross, he's with me. He thought it was Mutombo and Charlotte. So, Gene, minus 600 for you too, my man.
2 questions, 0 correct answers.
So I also, by the way, I feel like I enjoyed the Jason Richardson experience more than I expected when they signed him. Obviously, it was a pretty good guy. Didn't have a ton left athletically, but when you start from such a high floor, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room that deep into your career. So that was admittedly a tough one. There are some other ones like that.
That's a good one, though.
I will be shocked if you know them, but they are some deep pieces.
No,
of
that one I don't
Sixers
think I would have
lore.
ever gotten.
Yeah, that one is very obscure.
Do you remember the press conference with he and Andrew Bynum? Were you
I wasn't there.
I
no.
was there that day. Were you there? Were you there yet? No, you weren't there just yet. That was an interesting day because there was a lot of excitement at the the Constitution Center, and boy did it go wrong.
Pressure makes diamonds,
Boy, did it
baby.
go wrong,
Pressure
man.
makes diamonds.
I feel like this is going to be a game where I will win it just by not buzzing in ever.
No, you got to buzz in. All right, so 2 questions down and 0 correct answers so
Let's go
far.
to process this for 400.
Trying to get
All
the
right.
money, kind of get the points back.
In 2016, you should get this one. In 2016, Robert Covington tied a Sixers record for 3-point attempts in a game with 17, drawing level with this Utah-hating role player.
Utah-hating role
It's
player.
part of his online brand. Once I say it, you'll be very mad.
Who is Vernon Maxwell?
Correct. First correct answer of the game. Vernon Maxwell is tied with Robert Covington for the most 3-point attempts in a single game for the Sixers.
Yes.
I do not recall that Vernon Maxwell game. I definitely remember a few Robert Covington 10-plus 3-point attempt games.
Fire it up, Rob.
What did Max come in? Like, that was in the late 90s, right? Like 98, 99?
He was early in Iverson's tenure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You talking about here?
Yeah.
And he only played like 27
wasn't
games.
much.
Yeah, he only played about 27 games, but he used to hang out a lot in the city. I do know that.
He
part.
actually gave a recent interview about, and I'm pretty sure he was conflating like different seasons where he was like, Larry Brown kicked me off the team the year they went to the finals. And I was like, I don't know that you were actually on the team.
Yeah, I thought he was
year.
before that.
I thought he was on the team in like 90.
Were there 2 stints?
So he did come back a second time.
And that was for an even shorter time, right?
No, here's what it was.
Okay.
I think he thought it was like closer to the end of the season. He was like, and it's like, dude, you got traded to Dallas like
Right.
20 games
Right.
into the year. So
Mad
I think
Max.
that was.
I was just recently talking to somebody about him. They're like, it's all real. So he's calling Gary Payton out. They're like,
Listen.
no, it's all real. Even back to his college Florida days, it's all real.
That guy is one of the great characters certainly in NBA history. The online persona hating Utah
See,
is
I don't
unbelievable.
follow him online at all.
You've never seen the Utah tweets?
No.
All right, well,
Nope.
we're going to go to a quick break from our show to talk about Vernon Maxwell talking about the Utah Jazz.
I honestly don't think
crazy.
I've thought about Vernon Maxwell in the last 15 years.
Yeah, he's popping up every now and again, just yelling at the Utah.
Here's
people.
an example. I think he sent an inflammatory tweet about the Oklahoma City Thunder at one point. So he said, I'm not sure why I'm getting so much heat from OKC fans. I think it's a great city. They have a great Walmart, and the VHS section of their Blockbuster always has a nice selection. People in Utah would die to have those things. # be grateful.
Oh.
So that's one example.
Yeah, he gets after
Among many.
I might have to follow Vernon Maxwell now.
He's fun. He's fun. Yeah.
He also, here's another Vernon Maxwell tweet. Don't fret, Utah. I'm still coming to do a free summer basketball camp for you guys. In addition, I'll also be providing remedial reading classes for Jazz season ticket holders. # take note. # Mad Max Heart of Gold.
He can't help himself.
He loves going at Utah Jazz fans.
He
I had
can't
no
help
idea.
himself.
I would have never gotten that, but it's
Shout out to
hysterical.
Mad Max for his illustrious Sixers tenure.
Yeah, that's funny.
Devon, you now have
I'm in.
control of the board.
All right, let's
you can
go.
stay in the same category or you can move wherever you'd like.
We go with we talking about Iverson 100 for 100, please.
All right. This backup big man's trade kicker saved Iverson from being traded to the Detroit Pistons. That looked like Devon to me.
Well,
There's no way.
No, it was Derek.
I thought you slid under there. I don't know.
No, I did not
Okay.
slide under there. So we know who it is. But
It was
go ahead.
Matt Geiger.
Correct.
Yes.
Matt Geiger.
Now, the rule is we're not allowed to ding it until you finish reading, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
Yes,
gonna say
so
you
Matt
had-
Geiger
You had a little like
saved
Yeah, I was like,
Allen
I got
Iverson
no
from.
shot.
So I believe the rumored package for Iverson was some combination of, I want to say, Eddie Jones.
Yes.
Who else was in that deal? But it was with the Pistons.
Wasn't
It was Rip Hamilton. It wasn't Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones, Glenn
Was it?
Rice, and Jerome
Yeah,
Williams
Glenn Rice was the one I was
the
thinking.
report from.
What was the Rip Hamilton one?
That was
don't
that must have
remember
been a different. It's possible. Maybe that was part of the broader package.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, because when did Rip make his NBA debut? That was
Not
later, right?
That was
Until-
after. But there was another conversation
there was
about
another
a deal.
trade.
Yeah. So I was thinking, the wrong one.
It
so.
just it wouldn't have been that year. Okay,
Right.
Gotcha.
So
I
Matt
gotcha.
Geiger, he did the city a great service.
He
by
really
not
did.
waiving his trade
That's
kicker.
right.
It wasn't even a no trade. He
That's
just
right.
was like, I am not giving away the trade kicker. And the Pistons were like, screw that.
Didn't he have like a crazy farm in like Florida or something like that? Like what
Yeah,
was,
he
what
has
was that story
Buffalo.
about that?
He has
Buffalo?
Buffalo on his farm.
He also had those awful like barbed wire
Tattoos.
Yeah.
He's the most 90s white guy
Yes.
looking NBA player possible. He's the image of him next to Allen Iverson in those black jerseys that everyone wants to come back.
Yeah.
That's like 50% of why I don't want them to come back, because everybody from South Philly and Port Richmond will look a lot more like, and no offense, I've lived in both of those areas. I would be this person too. Most people would look like Matt Geiger and not Allen Iverson wearing those jerseys without some, let's say, some adjustments from the 90s profile.
I think you're losing that battle, though.
I'm definitely losing that
They don't
battle.
win game one without Matt
back.
Geiger in the NBA Finals. When he
So
came
Derek
in,
moves to minus
hit those
500.
Do you
baselines.
remember when they were trying to make that argument of McCullough and Geiger as like Twin Towers East?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No.
All right.
Go right by those guys.
We'll go with Iverson for 200, please.
Okay.
One more before the quick commercial break. Iverson received a single MVP vote during his rookie season, an honor he shared with another diminutive guard best known for his time with the Phoenix Suns. Devon.
Who is Steve Nash?
Incorrect.
The future
Overthinking it.
mayor.
Overthinking it. I was going there first.
Who's Kevin Johnson?
Correct.
He became a mayor, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sacramento.
Sacramento Mayor.
Sacramento. Yeah.
Kevin Johnson, a guy I really liked watching play when I was very young, obviously, because he was done. I don't remember when his last year was. Was he end of the 90s?
Right to
early
left
2000s?
crossover through the legs.
2000 was his final year in the league.
And go dunk on people. He would surprise you and just dunk on you.
I said best known for his time with the Suns. He only played, I believe it was something like 50 games elsewhere. Played for Cleveland his rookie year before being traded, and then rest of the way.
I overthought it. I thought Kevin Johnson. I said, you know what? That's too easy. Steve Nash.
It was a $200 question, but then again, that first $100 question we had was difficult, so I got you.
Iverson as a rookie on a 20-something win team received an MVP vote. I did not go back to see
I actually
who
didn't
gave
know
it
he
to
received
him.
an MVP vote.
I think it was like probably a fifth place vote, right? Because he got 1 point. It was one MVP vote point. So more than likely it was a fifth place vote, but he technically tied for 17th. So there were a lot of people. So it was not, Kevin Johnson was one of the guys I picked. He also was tied with, I believe it was Steve Smith.
Smitty.
And one other player. I think it was like some goofy white guy, like maybe Tom Gugliotta or something like that. I'm trying to
Minnesota Googs too.
That'd be something to look into. Who is the most mediocre player to ever receive an MVP vote? That'd be an interesting thing to dive into.
Here, I'll pull it up right now. It actually was Tom Gugliotta. Wow. Exactly. Tom Gugliotta in 1997.
That was the Wolves, right?
That was the Timberwolves. He had 1 fewer MVP voting point than Charles Barkley and John Stockton.
Right.
So that was it was an interesting season. So we do have to pay our bills here on Sixers Jeopardy.
-300.
This will be the first. This will be the first episode of Jeopardy where members or participants in the show have to read ads. But Derek, over to you.
All right. Well, first off,
we might have to ask them for some money.
We need to tell you about where I'm taking my -$300. Hopefully, you have more to deposit in the bank than I do. That would be TrueMark Financial, and specifically about TrueMark Financial's Rewards Visa credit card. Kyle doesn't allow me to read off of my laptop for this one, so I'm going to have to do it off of the phone. I said that you could pull it out
for the ads.
With TrueMark Financial's Rewards Visa credit card, you can earn rewards for each purchase using TrueMark Financial's Rewards Visa credit card and redeem them for travel and retail gift cards. Build credit through timely payments and low credit utilization. Enjoy fraud protection with features like zero liability. We also want to make sure we tell you about savings options with TrueMark Financial. They have a traditional savings account where I will take my -$300, which is a basic savings account offering a place to deposit funds, earn interest, and withdraw money as needed. There's also a money market account, which combines features of savings and checking accounts offering higher interest rates and limited check writing capabilities, easy access to your money when you need it.
For my -400.
And finally, there's a certificate, which is a fixed term deposit account with a predetermined interest rate and maturity date, offering higher interest rates for locking in funds for a specific period. TrueMark Financial is federally insured by the NCUA and an equal opportunity lender. For more information, visit truemark.com/PHLY.
Well, guys, whether you're a host of a game show or someone in the negative answering questions about their area of expertise, you need a good phone plan. You need an affordable phone plan. So when I heard that Mint Mobile was offering $15 a month plans when you purchase a 3-month plan, I thought it was nonsense. I thought, what's the catch? There isn't a catch. Their secret sauce is that Mint Mobile sells wireless service online. No brick and mortar retail stores, no salespeople. They just want to deliver premium phone plans directly to you, courtesy of the legend himself, Ryan Reynolds. So say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless starting at $15 a month. Very easy to set up. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. You bring your number, bring your existing contacts. I went through the process myself. I believe, Devon, you might have gone through it already by now. It's painless to get set up. And once you're set up, you're on the nation's largest 5G network. So you can get the great deal that I've been using all summertime long. To get this new customer offer, your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/Sixers. That's mintmobile.com/Sixers. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Sixers. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. All right, we are back on the set of Sixers Jeopardy.
Mr. Sandman says he wants to play.
I believe Derek is back in control of the board. Where are we going next, Derek?
I mean, let's just go to process for 300.
All right. Process this for 300.
But I'm over two.
This Prince of Comedy was technically the Sixers' highest paid player for the 2014-15 season, Joel Embiid's first year in the pros. I'll add on to the question. Unintentional comedy.
He was the highest paid?
Was on the roster during the season, highest paid player.
Wow. That's a great question. Because now
I'll give you.
Made money.
I'm feeling real generous down here right now. He was a consistent performer on Shaqtin' a Fool. One of the legends. I would say a Hall of Fame Shaqtin' a Fool player.
Who is JaVale McGee?
That's correct.
he was the highest paid.
I would have never guessed
He
his
made
contract was that high.
$11+ million. Now, if you remember now, you did not in the moment. They traded for him, absorbed his salary. They waived him, but did not buy him out. So part of the reason that he and his agent were happy is that he got his full dollar amount, and they didn't. There was no eating into JaVale's money. So he came here. I believe he played 6 games when I did the research for this, and got his $11+ million.
No, he came here. He's like, I want to be a leader for these young guys. And they were like, out. You're done. There's no chance.
I believe the second highest paid player was Jason Richardson.
Okay. I was actually thinking Jason, but he wasn't funny.
Exactly.
But that's why we weren't going to
funny.
do 2 Jason Richardson questions, obviously.
Yeah. That's a good
Well, then
call.
when you said unintentional comedy, I'm thinking of Roten, but Roten never made a lot of money.
No, he made no money. He was on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
He was still on his rookie deal. Good call by you, though.
I mean, I needed the hint, though. I wasn't getting it without that. I was racking my brain. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because nobody made money on those teams. Nobody made money on those.
And I was
they
thinking
got like
Richardson.
a first-round pick to get JaVale McGee in the trade? That's what
Something
ended
like
up
that,
happening.
Yeah.
I think they traded, what was the guy's name? It was a right-held player.
Was he from Washington at that time, or was he elsewhere?
I believe it was with Denver.
He was with
JaVale
Denver.
Cenk Achiol was who they traded.
Oh, yeah.
Is
I
it?
remember because that
Shout
was
out Cenk Achiol.
one of the few things I got Sam Hinkie to give me in terms of intel, and I just bullshitted. Like, I was literally driving to the press conference. I'm like, well, he's not trading anything of value for him. I know that. Like, there's no second-round pick. He's got to trade something. Who are the rights-held player? I'm like, Sam, can you confirm that you're trading Cenk Achiol? It's like the one thing I got, and I completely bullshitted.
All
I had
right.
no intel on that.
Derek is back to net neutral.
Oh, look at that.
At
True
0
market.
after that big $300 answer. Derek, you maintain control of the board. Where are you going next?
Let's go to Wilt Facts for 100.
All right. Wilt Facts for 100. Wilt Chamberlain's finest individual performance came in this town, PA's chocolate capital.
Oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
You can, no. Buzz in. The question's over now. Buzz in.
I don't know where our hands are supposed
No,
to be.
I buzzed before.
He improperly buzzed, so now you
Okay.
got to buzz. There you go.
That was a bad one. There you go. What is Hershey?
That is correct.
PA.
Now, I originally was going to ask what was the arena that he did it in.
I forgot the name. I hear it so much, but I don't.
Could
know.
you guess right now? It's a very generic name.
No.
It's just Hershey Sports Arena,
Okay.
No.
which I figured that would be one you might not get.
Yeah.
I had to give you at least one gimme out of the Wilt ones.
Okay.
'Cause some of them will be
Yeah.
a little bit tougher.
All right. Let's go to
Devon marching back towards neutral.
That's right. After I was already closer and I went backwards. Process this for 200.
All right. In Brett Brown's first season in Philly, these two former Sixers were the top 2 scorers for the season. So 2013-14, top 2 scorers for the team.
In his first season, I feel like these two former Sixers were top 2 scorers.
I like how you had former Sixers. Like they'd still be with the team all these years later.
First season in Philly.
So I'll give you a nudge in the right direction. Veteran players.
Yeah.
Who were not long for the team.
I've got like 3 of them.
I've got.
Who is Evan Turner and Thaddeus Young?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't know how many
I
Hawes
believe
scored.
Thad was first, just slightly, but naming the 2 was the important thing.
Yeah.
MCW was the one I was uncertain of. So when you said veterans, it helped.
So,
Yeah.
What a strange season that year was, where they came out of the chute.
3-0.
Michael Carter-Williams is on fire against Miami.
Yeah, almost had a quadruple double in that game.
They trade Evan Turner to Indiana at the deadline, and what's his name? Chris Palmer says the Pacers will be unbeatable with Evan Turner.
Yep.
And turns out that was
Didn't quite
not
work.
the case, and lines up with a lot of his takes in the
Money
years
Mar
since.
in the chat bringing up Drew Holiday. Drew never played for Brett Brown.
Yeah.
He did not.
Drew was traded like 4 months before Brett was hired.
Apparently, Eugene Ross is on absolute fire right now.
Except for the ones that he
if
and
you're
I
keeping
both
score at home, I
lost
want to know how
together.
much you score.
The first 2, he was negative 600 right off the bat.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how much on fire you are.
He's back to the positive. He's back to
he is back.
respectability. Yes.
We got to make sure Devon's in the positive for Final Jeopardy. Otherwise, it's a runaway victory, and it's just for fun at that point.
There's plenty of time for me to get in the negative. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
but if you're both in the negative, then we don't. It's unprecedented. There'd be no Final Jeopardy. All right, so Derek, you're back in control of the board. Where are we going next?
Let's go to Iverson 300.
Iverson for 300. Iverson won his first scoring title in the lockout-shortened 98-99 season, winning a narrow victory over this imposing figure.
Got him.
Who is Shaquille O'Neal?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Now, when I went back and I'm going through some of these seasons looking for stuff, I was like, did he not win the scoring title, Shaq, because he only played, it was like 49 games? And then I was like, oh, yeah, they only really played 50 games or whatever it was that year. So that was Iverson's first scoring title. Beat out Shaq. I think the top 5 were those 2. Sharif Abdul-Rahim was one of the other members of the top 5.
Yeah.
As a blast from the past when I saw that one.
Sharif was tough.
He was very good on a. I think he was on a bad. He was on the
Vancouver
Grizzlies at
and
that
then
point,
Grizzlies.
right?
And then the Hawks, and it was
Never a good team.
No.
Never.
Nope. All right, let's go award
Back
winners.
to 0, by the way, Devon. That was an important answer.
Award
Not
winners for
important.
200. Thank you, sir.
Award winners for 200. Tyrese Maxey became the second Sixers player to win the Most Improved Player award in 2024. Name the first.
Damn it! And they were talking about this when he won.
Let's say not a franchise legend.
Most improved player.
Not a franchise legend.
An unexpected big game is the highlight of this player's career.
I have a guess, but I'm not risking $200 on it.
Oh, cowardice.
You don't want to go back to 0-0-0 with me, my man? Come on. Unexpected. It was the highlight of his career. Most improved.
90s player. That's the last hint you get, or we'll move on from this one.
Who is Dana Barros?
That's correct. Dana Barros was the
And an
NBA's
all-star.
most improved player in 1995 and an all-star.
And an all-star, yep.
Also, someone bring up McKee. McKee was 6 man.
6th man of the year.
They had
Yes.
6-man coach, defensive player, and
Willie
MVP.
Burton just had that one game of 55, I think it was, but it wasn't enough for him to win.
Yeah.
You know, that was like
Well,
a
'cause
one-game thing.
Dana Barros was in like the perfect spot because they just traded Barkley. They had nobody on the team, so he had a chance to ring up numbers.
And he made the all-star team.
He was, to be fair, he was the one I was thinking of before you gave the hint, and then the 90s thing just gave me enough confidence to.
Not enough for me to
that thing.
risk
And you're
my
slowly
200.
sliding that bell closer and
No,
closer to
I
yourself.
pushed it back. I pushed it back.
Yeah.
I pushed it back when I was done.
Listen, we should have
I understand I had the wingspan reach on Devon, so I'm trying to be fair here.
all right. What do you say we take another quick break to talk about our sponsors, and then we'll straight through to the end for this game. How does that sound to
All right,
everybody?
all
I
right.
think we're like right on time. I think this is going to fit perfectly.
Listen, I'm a little bit inexperienced as a game show host, but trying to do my best here with the pacing of our game. You know what else I've been doing my best with over the last year plus is working on my house. My wife and I bought a house a little over a year ago. And boy, does it change when you go from renting to everything is yours. You have to fix things. Sometimes you don't even know what you need until you're in a house and have to work on the plumbing, mess with light fixtures, all that. The good news is our friends at Ace Hardware got that, as they like to say. You got a leaky pipe at Ace Hardware. They're around the block with everything you need to fix it, including a person who can actually come out and do the fixing. If you have an air conditioning issue, they can come out. Guys, HVAC is a huge cost expense if you do have to replace it. If you can keep it regularly maintained, which Ace Hardware can help you do that, that will save you a lot of money in the long run until you've got some money saved, a little nest egg in your savings account, and you can use that all to replace your HVAC system. If you got a faucet that you said you'd fix before and you left it too long, Ace Hardware has them too, because they're not just helpful hardware folks, they're the helpful home service and repair people. From plumbing to heating and cooling, they've got trusted pros to keep your home in tip-top shape. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get you started on your next project. I will say, even if they weren't a sponsor, Ace Hardware has been a lifesaver for me over the last, let's call it, I think it's about 18 months now of having my own house. They will come through for you at any time, Monday through Friday, even on the weekends, whenever you need them.
Gene said his house is like 80 plus degrees for no reason. It's HVAC.
You got to get that looked
on
at
that
quickly,
HVAC,
man.
brother.
You got to figure it out. Well, we also want to tell you with the football season underway, as far as training camp goes, they have a preseason game next weekend, if I'm correct. Football season is back, so you want to make sure you sign up for the Die Hard program to check in on Zach Berman, Bo Wolf, Les Bowen, writing about the Birds in training camp preseason, big roster decisions that the organization has to make, what's going on, who's looking good, who's not looking all that great. So you can certainly check out their PHLY Eagles podcast, but if you want to see what's going on with the writing, diehard member you need to be. We are, of course. Hope that you all out there can be as well. Baseball going on, falling a little bit with the losses. There's too many of them. Time for you to check in on Jim Salisbury and see what the heck is going on with the baseball team, although I'm not worried as we approach August, and they're still very good. They'll figure it out. It happens all the time.
It does.
It does.
But I worry every time it happens.
And then they'll be right back in the playoffs and talking about the World Series again. So make sure you go sign up for the Die Hard program. Again, you get 20% off. You get an opportunity to get some merchandise there as well. Your T-shirt, when you do sign up, you'll have your choice of T-shirt. We have hats, shirts, hoodies, etc. All that stuff available to you. And you can do that courtesy of being a Die Hard member and a PHLY Discord as well, and get into the conversation about Sixers basketball, Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, whatever's on your mind. Make sure you sign up to become a diehard member right now.
Baseball really is the worst, man. The season's so long that like even the best teams are going to go through lulls like this. And it's like intellectually, I know not to react too much. It's about 162 games, not a month. But man, this month sucks.
The non-baseball watcher profiting over here. All right, back to Sixers Jeopardy. We have plenty of questions left. A lot of money to be made. Hopefully we both our contestants here end up in the positive at the end of it. Who answered Dana Barros? That was
Derek did.
That was
We'll
Derek.
finish off the process.
All right. Process this for 100.
Finally landing the plane.
It wasn't an homage to Darryl Imhoff or Shake Milton when this many players appeared in at least one game for the 2015-16
I have
Sixers.
a good guess, but I don't know if I have the right guess. What is 101? No, that was 101.
What?
That was 101 for the process.
No!
That was for like a 4-year
You were given
stretch.
a hint in the question.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
The jersey
like
number guy should be all over
about
this.
to go there.
It was like 101 for the 3 years of the process,
Yes.
or something
Yes.
absurd like that.
101.
I
Let me
completely
jump
misread.
in here
Yeah,
and try to
go
get
ahead.
100, please. What is 18?
That is correct. 18 players
Yes.
appeared in a game for the 2015-16 Sixers. I was actually surprised it was that low because some of the
Yes.
other years
It's like 30.
very
No,
high.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like, if you go back and look at the 3 year, I'm pretty sure it's like 101 or something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm close.
101.
I misread the question.
If they played 101 guys, they would have deserved Jerry Colangelo taking over the team. Put it that way.
I misread the question.
No, it's all good.
What's the other category right there again?
There's only one doctor in Philadelphia.
All right, let's do there's only one doctor.
Shout out to Mark Zumoff. That was his favorite. For 100, there's only one doctor in Philadelphia. Julius Erving entered professional basketball with this defunct ABA team.
Who is the Nets?
Incorrect.
Oh,
Who are the Squires?
Squires, Virginia.
Can you be more specific?
Who are the Virginia Squires?
That's correct.
Yes.
All right. Devon's hard-earned points off the board. The Virginia Squires. So this is not part of the rest of the Julius Erving trivia. Do you know which former NBA star he played with during his first season with the Virginia Squires?
101. I still can't.
Another great scorer, best known as a scorer.
George Gervin?
That's correct.
Yeah.
George Gervin and Dr. J were on the same ABA team.
Yeah.
And they lost to the Nets, I believe, in the conference finals in the ABA that year. So
101. Read the fucking question, Derek. I'm sorry. I'm still.
Get the Virginia Squires, Devon.
All right. Derek, you're back in control of the board, even though you answered 101 for process this.
Because I think Devon's going to clean this up. Let's go to Iverson for 400.
Iverson for 400. Name the 6 Sixers players who appeared in every game during the 2001 finals run. Here's a hint. Iverson wasn't one of them.
Do I have to say who is each time?
No, just one who is, and then you're...
Dikembe Mutombo, Aaron McKee, Jumaine Jones, Eric Snow. What's that?
That's 4.
I need 2 more.
Yes.
See, Jumaine was a tough one because he started.
He was one of the tough ones.
Yeah, he would start all the time. Are there any other tough ones?
One tough one. One tough one, one starter level player. Might have to buzz you out. I don't know.
It has been a long time.
I'm asking for 6 answers. So I got to give some leniency on this.
So you said
one
tough one and one that's a starter.
Yes. Or starter level guy. Not necessarily every night starter.
Raja Bell. No, damn it.
I was going to say, I think he came in midway through that run.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a big loss. That's a big 400-point loss for Devon. Derek's not touching it. All right, Bree,
going through my head, I was going through, I know what.
Because I was thinking Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie is one of the other ones.
As one of the other guards, because Iverson was hurt. And
was it T-Mac? Was it Todd?
It was Tyrone Hill.
It was Tyrone Hill. Oh, damn it. He was the power forward. Yeah.
So Mutombo, Snow, McKee, Hill, Jones, and Kevin Ollie.
I was going through my list of everyone who was injured, and I'm like, well, which ones were playing through that injury? Because Snow had
George Lynch got knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Lynch got
Iverson missed one game.
He was out.
Lynch, because Jermaine Jones starting in place of him.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. That was a tough one.
That was just too many. There's 6
names.
I nailed the first 4, right.
There was no real way to do that with who are the bench players that did. Like that would have been even more. All right. Well,
I would have taken 4 of the 6. That would have been better.
I mean, there's a reason it's a $400 question.
Absolutely.
Let's go to AI for 5.
AI for 5.
All right. AI for 5. In a series largely defined by Iverson and Vince Carter, it was this Toronto frontcourt player who led all scorers in a famous Game 7 victory for Philadelphia.
Toronto? I'm just taking all chances. Frontcourt player who is Antonio Davis.
Correct. Devon back in the positive with Antonio Davis. Yeah. So
I was thinking it was that because he was killing him that series. That mid-range jumper was.
He was something like 11 for 15 in Game 7.
I just wasn't sure if it was Game 7.
You know who the second leading scorer for the game was?
Off the bench or starter?
Starter. Well, I think he started this game, but was a mostly bench player throughout the year for Philadelphia.
For the Sixers?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Is that Jermaine Jones? Do you have like a random?
It was Aaron McKee. Aaron McKee scored 20. So Antonio Davis scored 23. McKee had 22. I think Iverson and Carter either had 20 or 21 each.
Okay.
It was crazy going back. When we were doing the game rank thing recently here that I went on Anthony's show.
Okay.
I went and did my like deep dive research, and I was like, man, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
They were that bad, or not even bad, because game sevens, everybody's always off the pace a little bit. But that Antonio Davis was like, that was the guy leading the way.
Jason Tatum wasn't off the pace a couple years ago.
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's go to their doctor in Philadelphia for 200.
All right. Irving's NBA playoff career high came in a losing effort when he scored 40 in a series-ending loss to this Western Conference team. It should narrow it down a lot.
Yeah.
Who is the Portland Trailblazers?
That is correct. He scored 40 points in their Game 6 NBA Finals loss in the series that famously they were up 2-0 in and ended up getting swept the rest of the way 4-0 by Bill Walton's Trailblazers. That Blazers team is a great NBA what if, where they won that title, and then I think the next year they were like 50-10 before Walton went down with that was the first of his bad foot injuries, I think. And then the rest of his career was kind of never the same.
They had a nice team.
The Sixers had a great team. I mean, they had a lot of talent. I think the problem that a lot of people cite who were there for it was they had too many guys that needed the ball in their hands and were score first type of players between Doc, McGinnis.
That's when McGinnis really won it out after that.
Yes, and McGinnis was a big-time player, right? But it was hard for him to – he's one of those guys that struggled to coexist with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like when he's the guy, it's great. When he has to be one of the guys, maybe less so.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it in the Doc category for 300.
All right. Irving's famous rock the baby dunk came over this Lakers player during a meeting in Philadelphia in 1983.
Who is Michael Cooper?
Yeah.
That is correct. Devon is charging right now, making up some big time points / money.
I was like 70% sure on that one, but it wasn't enough to hit the bell.
I mean,
Or it
for
wasn't
him to do that and then do the reverse underneath the backboard, that stuff, man. And one of the highlights, if I could say this, of just being around the Sixers, covering them for as long as we have now, was when they had the Chicago Bulls back in town for the final Spectrum game. Yeah. That was dope. Yeah, I had to call my dad when I was in the tunnel, like, yo, I'm in the back of the Spectrum right now, and Moses just walked by. You know, that kind of thing. That was cool. That's
one of those, because I bought tickets for that one. That's one of those tickets that I've got hanging up in my man cave.
That was dope.
I'll give some additional credit to Michael Cooper, who was a very good defensive player for the Lakers in the 80s. He has done interviews for like NBA.com about getting dunked on in this play. Like when they did those iconic NBA moments type of series that they do on the website or YouTube or wherever else. He was like, I thought I was going to make a great defensive play. And he's like, if I made the block, it would have been one of the best blocks in history. Instead, it was one of the greatest dunks in history. And so he had like this great energy and attitude about it. So shout out to, we don't give Lakers players credit very often on this show.
It's far enough
shout out to Michael Cooper. Good sport about that whole thing.
It wasn't wrong, because if you swipe it down, you're good. You at least break that part up.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, you're not going to block the damn shot by backing away.
No. That's why I love when the Bodner was like, yeah, I got dunked on. Guess what?
I'm going to keep jumping.
I'm going to keep doing it.
I love that attitude.
Exactly. Let's go to keep it in the Doc category, 400.
All right. Uh-oh. The doctor in Philadelphia for 400.
Doctor in Philadelphia.
No. Oh. Julius Erving was an all-star every year of his professional career, including this many times as a member of the 76ers.
That is a tough one. 77, 83, 85.
There's like a very good chance I'd be off by a year.
Same.
Are we going to pass on this one?
I'm not putting.
It's okay to pass.
I'll pass
at this point.
I want to say this many.
I was thinking 9.
I said 8.
Shortchanging them. What is 11? Wow. 11-time All-Star. Now remember, those ones at the end of his career.
Put a question mark. Question mark means you're not ringing that bell.
11-time All-Star with the Sixers, and he was a 5-time All-Star in the ABA every single year of his career. So 16 consecutive All-Star appearances for his career.
Last year was what, 86?
Yes.
Yeah, 86, 87.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I forgot which year he came over, so I wasn't.
Now the last 2 years were more of like this. Everybody loves Doc. We're going to put him in the All-Star game kind of thing, which is great. Like Dr. J is the man. Like he's a beloved figure within the NBA.
Dirk deserve that also when they got their.
I don't think. Well,
now they
deserve
made
in
the
terms
roster.
of the
they made the extra roster for both sides.
Yeah,
but Doc is Doc. But Dirk and Dwayne Wade are all Hall of Famers also.
I will say Eugene has access to Google on that end, so we can't be sure this is a clean game on Eugene's end.
Let him have it.
But it seems like Eugene is cleaning up in the comments, so shout out to Eugene.
I still think a question mark doesn't count.
Fair enough.
Well, good thing you're not the judge of the points here.
Let's go.
Devon, you still have control of the board.
Award winners for 300, please.
All right. This teammate of Wilt Chamberlain's was the first ever Sixers player to make an appearance on an all-rookie team.
Damn. I have 2.
There's no way I'm going to be confident enough to guess on this one.
I have 2.
I feel like I knew this at one point, though, or at least I ran across it.
I'll just take a shot. Who is Guy Rogers? No? Okay.
Incorrect.
Is it Wally Jones? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
I'm not guessing anyway, but that sounds possible, but I'm not.
Bree, you want to reveal the answer?
Lucius Jackson.
Okay.
No way.
First Sixers player.
I know, but I wouldn't have guessed that.
First Sixers player to make an appearance on an all-rookie team, and I believe it was 1965. There you go. Eugene said Chet Walker. Wrong. Love and respect
that's a question mark. That doesn't count.
Love and respect to Chet Walker. Rick Morse guessed Billy Cunningham, which also was a good guess.
It's a good guess.
I will say Wally's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever spoken to Wally?
Yeah.
Real great guy.
Yeah.
You worked on a story that you ended up talking to him, right?
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, those guys, getting to talk to the guys who played back then, the ones who are still around, is so illuminating.
I feel like as a journalist, like you get I won't say immune to talking to famous people, but like you get used to it. Having like half of that championship team's phone numbers, like of the living ones in my phone, is pretty cool. Like I geeked out over that story for sure.
Yeah, it's a connection to like actual basketball history, right? A very different piece of league history at that point where, they're staging like civil rights protests during the All-Star game, and there's all kinds of stuff independent of the basketball part of it that's like a very cool piece of history. All right, so
Lucius Jackson. It's still on Derek.
Would have never gotten that.
Yeah.
It's
on you.
It's still you because nobody buzzed in correctly, so it's still Devon.
Let's go with.
Wait, didn't he? Because wasn't he up to 600? He was up to $600 at one point.
Yeah, I lost 3, but
He
that
lost
was.
3.
So nobody's gotten a question
I did take
right.
a guess.
He took a punt.
I took a guess. Let's go with Wilt Facts for 200, please.
All right. Joel Embiid owns the Sixers record for most points in a game, but Wilt has him beat for the single half record, the same number Jeremy Grant later wore.
For the Sixers?
Yes.
What is in a single half? What is 39?
That is correct. Wilt once scored 39 points and a half for the Sixers.
Jeremy wore that weird number when he was here, number 39. Second round pick, but it was like 39.
I did try to the number ones are a little slanted towards Devon because
really
I know
bad
he's
with
like
numbers.
the jersey number guy, and we've talked about that before.
Talks about the calculator. I'm horrible with jersey numbers. Horrible.
Yeah.
No question mark from Eugene on that one. So Eugene gets the points for the Jeremy Grant.
I just wanted to make sure I had it right before I said it. I knew the number.
You got a little. We're not trying to rush you through your answers here.
And then the thing with the jersey numbers, once someone says it, it's like, I'm an idiot. Of course.
Like Shake with 18.
Yeah.
For that question.
39 hit me more though. Like I should have known 39.
Yeah. Wilt for 300.
All right. Wilt Chamberlain owns the single game NBA rebound record with 55 and the Sixers single game rebound record for 43. It shouldn't come as a surprise that he owns this many of the top 20 single game rebounding performances in Sixers history.
What is 20?
Incorrect.
I'm out. I don't know this one.
Devon's tapping 19. Out. All right, Bree, reveal it. What is 19?
19.
Do you think you could guess who has the sole non-Wilt number?
It seems like Moses is the obvious one, but
it's not. It's not Moses.
NBA?
Dikembe?
It's not Dikembe.
Is it NBA?
Yes, but it's
Little ABA in it.
no, it's not ABA. It's a different iteration of the franchise. Put it that way.
Because I was thinking Rodman is who I was thinking.
No, I'm talking about this is Sixers specific.
Oh, Sixers specific.
Yes. Sixers franchise specific.
So it might have been back when they were the
Syracuse Nationals.
Syracuse Nationals. Was it Shays?
It was. Dolph Shays is. I believe he has one in the top 10. Wilt has the rest of the top 20, which is just his rebounding numbers are truly preposterous.
Insane.
55 in a game, and then 40. What is it? 43. I said he had in
insane.
Was his Sixers career high. So yeah.
All right.
That's why we have a Wilt facts category, because his stats are just preposterous.
They're all by himself, yes. Award winners for 400.
All right. He's the only person in franchise history to appear in an All-Star game and win Coach of the Year for the Sixers. So before you buzz in, appear in an All-Star game for the franchise.
As a player.
And win Coach of the Year for the Sixers. Both are for the Sixers. For the Sixers.
You're making me second. Who is Billy Cunningham?
No.
What? I was thinking the same thing. He's the only person in franchise history to appear in an All-Star game and win Coach of the Year
for the Sixers?
For the Sixers.
When you kept saying, like, you made me think I was wrong, and I am wrong, but I'm shocked. I mean, I'm usually shocked when I'm wrong, but this one even more so.
I have a guess, but I'm not chancing it on this one. I'm not taking a shot on this one. I pass.
It is also Dolph Shays.
See, I would have been wrong because I was thinking
he won Coach of the Year and was also an All-Star for the Sixers.
I wouldn't have gotten that one. I was like, all right.
No,
now there are very few guys who have done both of those things.
Yeah.
Period. Being an All-Star and being Coach of the Year, let alone it's a very hype. So Billy Cunningham was like the fake out answer there. That's why that was one of the
that's why
tougher.
when you kept like
he was the first one.
You're wrong, and I kept saying no, I'm not.
Then I pivoted to Doug Collins, but I was like, Doug didn't win
Not
Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Cunningham never won Coach of the Year.
Cheeks never won with the Sixers.
No, and Doc and those guys never. Well, Rivers didn't play for the Sixers.
So when I was looking at this, I was like, that doesn't even make sense that Billy didn't win it because they were really good for that whole run.
Yeah.
And so you figure at some point he would get.
Yes.
But I guess voting was different.
He also
back then,
he just didn't coach for all that long too.
But I thought I just saw him in highlights on the sideline and for an All-Star team. All right, let's go to award winners for 500.
All right. He's no Doc or Dikembe, but this former Sixer joined them in the record books as a winner of the Walter J. Kennedy Citizenship Award in 2010.
2010. Who the fuck would have been a good person for that team? I've guessed too much lately.
I'll give you guys a push in the right direction. Someone who I believe won it for humanitarian work in the country that they're from.
Who was Manu Bol?
Incorrect. 2010. He's not playing it though. You're not winning a citizenship.
Former Sixer.
He's a former Sixer now. You don't win the Player Citizenship Award.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Derek broke the bell, I think.
Who is Samuel Dallenberg?
That is correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For doing work
Haiti.
in, I believe, his home country of Haiti.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah, he did a lot.
I did not remember that he won that.
He did a lot, but yeah, he did a lot.
Derek, how the mighty have fallen late in this game.
I've got to get everyone just get back.
Well, listen, these are the ones that I would be shocked if you know a couple of these. So
all right,
we'll see.
Let's just run through them then. Let's go Wilt 400.
Wilt for 400. To win his final MVP with the Sixers in 1968, Wilt Chamberlain beat out this second-place finisher, a future title-winning coach of the Seattle Supersonics. Won the title with the Sonics. That's the important thing here.
As a coach?
Yes. The silence and pressure is palpable at this point.
Because the guy I'm thinking about didn't win. No, he didn't.
It's one of the most, I think, of Guys who went on to become coaches, I believe he's the most decorated former player. One of them, anyway.
For the Sonics?
Yeah, the Sonics part's tripping me up.
I'll do it. I'll say who is Lenny Wilkens.
That's correct. Lenny Wilkens was second in MVP voting that year. I think he was a 13-time All-Star. At one point, he was the winningest coach in league history because he coached for a long time from the late 70s through. He's coaching the Hawks in I think like the 90s.
That's where I'm like
I
was thinking he was going for his first one. Yeah.
Devon is cleaning up from the like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
All right, let's go. Dr. J 500.
Okay, I'm glad you're saving this Wilt one for last. Despite being a one-team man in the NBA, Erving nearly jumped to the NBA for two other teams. One that drafted him and another that he appeared in 3 exhibition games for.
Jeez.
And you have to get both?
Yes.
Then I won't get both. I would think one.
Let's say I'll be charitable. I'll give it to you if you get one of them.
Is there? Oh, you gave a hint already. Damn.
Who the fuck originally drafted him?
Might have to time you out on this one.
I'm out on this one because we're running out of time anyway, so I'm out on this particular one.
The answer is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Okay. He was actually drafted by the Bucks and would have potentially played with Kareem and Oscar Robertson, which is an insane thing to think about.
James has it in his
He played 3 exhibition games for the Hawks with Pistol Pete, and the Hawks were fined for each individual game that he played. He negotiated some kind of deal with Atlanta because he found out that his agent in some way conspired with the Squires to press his earnings on his deal.
Wow. Okay.
So, fun fact for you, Dr. J history right there. If you guys get this one, I will be shocked. So
let's do it, Bree.
Clearing the board. Wilt facts for 500. Most people remember Wilt's claim that he charmed 20,000 different women. Far fewer will believe this age at which Wilt claims he lost his virginity.
I don't remember. I'm not guessing, but I have jokes. So I'm trying to stay away from answering because I have jokes. Damn.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean.
No answers?
And it's not like a guess will get me back in the positive anyway, so.
I have no clue because I'm thinking it can't be just in some double-digit number. It has to be like a single digit.
Well,
he can claim whatever he wants. So.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And he probably looked like a grown-ass man by 10 anyway, too.
Because he was so tall.
All right, Bree, you want to reveal the answer? 8? What is 5 years old?
Come on. That's ridiculous.
What is 5 years old? Wilt Chamberlain gave a recorded interview in which he claimed he was 5 years old when he... I believe said he charmed an older woman. I don't know about older woman. Let's say older child. Let's say.
Any 5-year-old can charm a grown-up, right?
Wilt Chamberlain, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the... I should have put Wilt facts in quotation marks to really sell idea that...
Does Sonny know that?
I hope not. I hope that Sonny and him have never talked about Wilt losing his virginity at 5 years old here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, what are the final scores here before Final Jeopardy, Bree? Our tabulation. Minus 800 for Derek, who in a normal Jeopardy game would no longer be able to participate in Final Jeopardy. This would already be a win for our friend Devon at 1,400. So... we're going to still have fun, and we'll do Final Jeopardy anyway.
All right.
Before we get there, what did you guys learn from the experience?
Just answer the question and don't think too hard about the...
Learn jersey numbers and don't take guesses.
That's where I would go. I would say to make sure just
did I make it too difficult?
No, this was good. Okay. I hope we have another one in the annual Jeopardy going forward.
We're going to do some other...
a lot for you, but... So, hopefully we can find some other game shows. Yeah,
maybe some like Price is Right, or I don't think we could do Wheel of Fortune. We'd have to get like a...
Yeah, well, Bree actually...
we could do a thing where like...
Bree's show where you can do some other stuff on the... It has to be done on the screen, though. not physically done right here.
Yeah, that was part of why I wanted to do Jeopardy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So as we get ready
Honestly, the most fun category was probably the Iverson team.
that was a fun one. And
Just
really
because I have
fast,
more-
we want to let you know that make sure you sign up again for the Die Hard program. As you sign up for the Die Hard program, again, you get access to all the great writing from Derek and Kyle for the 76ers. And certainly with football kicking into full swing now and baseball, a lot of interest there in the Phillies. You want to know what Jim Salisbury has to say in the writing form. Of course, don't forget about the Flyers with Charlie writing everything about Mishkov and contracts being signed at 8-year deals. And you're looking at the number and saying, is he worth that much money?
A lot of money.
But it's a lot of money. So make sure you sign up for the Die Hard program. The Iverson category was very fun.
Yeah, well, it's also one that I just actually lived through the period. So it was,
That Kevin Ollie one is eating me up, man. Him and Tyrone
that's
Hill.
a tough one.
That's eating me up because Tyrone Hill always played. Always
Yes.
played. All right.
Okay, so the final Jeopardy category. Derek, let's just pretend. What did Devon have again, Bree?
800?
Let's just pretend Derek has 700 points.
Doesn't matter.
The final category is elite scorers. So make your wagers based on Devon. You have 1,400. You can wager up to 1,400. Derek, you have 700. You can
So just put the number down?
put the number down that you would like to wager. Let me know when you've... Derek, hide it so that we do a big reveal at the end. I don't want to... All right. Okay. In the category of elite scorers, Wilt Chamberlain holds the record for the most 60-point games in NBA history with 32. How many other players has scored 60 points more than once? You have 30 seconds. Do 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 do. I'm not going to do the whole Jeopardy
How many
theme
players?
song. How many players have scored 60 points more than once?
Do we have to write the names or just the total
No,
number
just
of
the
players?
number.
Okay.
But you do have to get it in the next 6 seconds.
All right.
All right, that is pencils down or markers down. All right, Derek, you were trailing heading into Final Jeopardy. Hold on.
I didn't see it.
We were trailing going into Final Jeopardy. You would have had to get this correct and bet all your money in order to draw level with Devon, depending on his betting strategy. What did you bet and what did you come up
I
with?
did bet all $700, and I'm pretty confident in my answer.
Unfortunately, Suck It Neubeck is not correct.
Rigged.
That's a big old 0 for Derek. So he went from negative whatever to even more negative. Thanks for playing, Derek. You tried. You failed. Devon, you were leading comfortably. You were running undisputed in this game. What did you come up with for Final Jeopardy?
If anything, I felt Derek would go about 300 more over my 14 or whatever I had. So I said, let me just go with the plus 300 to at least tie in the event that happens. So I went with plus 300 and I went with, 7?
That is incorrect. So Devon finishes with, I believe, a winning number of 1,100 points.
Yeah.
The answer is 9 players. 9 players other than Wilt have scored 60 points more than once. The list: Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Luka, Karl Anthony Towns,
Interesting.
Elgin Baylor, James Harden, Michael Jordan, Damian Lillard, Kobe Bryant. That was in order of the least to the most.
Towns I did not have.
I believe Kobe had the second most to Wilt's 32 with 6. So the gap between Wilt and everybody else as pronounced as it has ever been.
Wow. We also had a super chat in there.
I probably would have guessed more.
It
just seems like more
double
people
digits
would've,
more.
yeah.
That's why I went.
I was going to try to make you guess how many 60-point games have been in his, but there are a lot of those.
Yeah,
So that
I would have
didn't
missed
feel
a
as-
few of those.
Yeah, I felt
So-
like this one you could at least get in the range.
7 is where I went. Okay.
Weren't that far off.
All right. What you got for the
One
super
quick super chat from our guy Devon, aka Schoolboy Beats. Off topic, but the Ricky dunk at the Rumpf Classic was 3 fire emojis.
So I was there last night, Devon.
Honestly, it might have been 4 fire emojis. I think you're underselling it.
Yeah, well, listen, man. I
Good
mean,
dunk.
it was in the second half, and it was actually coming towards me, the basket I was sitting underneath. And I was like, all right, Ricky's in the open floor. He's going to do something. I did not expect him to pull out the East Bay Funk, Isaiah Ryder, between the legs, one hand dunk. And it wasn't even close. He cleared it. It wasn't a wonder of, did he almost make that? No, he made that. But the star of the night, Colin Gillespie.
Saw a lot of highlights from his performance.
He was the best player on the floor easily last night for the I know Jamie's the coach, but I can't remember what team is his. I guess it's the 8-Eye team since it's Jamie. Jamie Boyer, famed photographer in the area, and he's coaching that team. So Colin Gillespie, I don't even know if Gillespie's playing anymore. That's why he just emptied the clip last night, and he showed out.
Came out ready to prove something.
He had 30.
Love that.
So it's not off topic, Devon, because Mike Morak, who helps run the Danny Rumpf Classic, was on our show earlier in the week. So if you did not see it, go back and check it out. Mike talked about it. You never know who shows up. I didn't know Gillespie was going to show up. He showed up, and he showed out. And Morris Twins, I didn't know they were playing. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Ricky came out. I got a chance to meet Reggie Jackson last night, talk to him briefly so we're all set for the season.
All right.
And Reggie Jackson was there, and just, a few others just coming through the building. So if you don't have anything to do, Community College of Philadelphia, right off of Spring Garden, go check them out. Games today beginning at 5:45. They run through 10 o'clock. And then also the earlier games start on Saturday and Sunday, championship on Monday at the Danny Rumpf Classic.
All right, we ready to go? Enjoy the rest of our Fridays and our weekends.
Roll call, baby.
No more humiliation for Derek in Jeopardy form.
I really just got to stop taking guesses in Jeopardy.
Well,
it's a real bad strategy.
You can go either way in Jeopardy, right? There are some people who think you should just always buzz in and let the chips fall. There are some people who think never guess.
Yeah.
It's the two SAT strategies, right? Where it's
the one that's really bothering me is the Kevin Alley, Tyrone Hill one. That's bothering me because I know that team, like you said.
That could have been a 500 one, and to need to answer 6 of them.
Yeah, it should have been like 4 out of 6.
Yeah, I did try to keep it at a pretty high level in terms of the difficulty as we scaled up. So thank you to everybody who came and entertained my nonsense today. Thank you to these two.
No, that was fun,
for
man.
Participating in the nonsense.
The folks in there seem to have fun too.
Flying through a summer Friday. Thank you to Threat Level Midnight, to Aaron, to Rick Morse, to my girl Winona, to Puppas, Martian Lynch.
What up, Martian?
Eugene Ross, apparently the trivia king in the chat today.
He cleared both of us, Gene did.
I did hear Money Marr was making some waves in the chat as well. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he gave you the one answer.
We got Darnell in here today. Thank you, Darnell. We got Jess Provolone John, who said this was a great show,
Did
gents.
I represent Jess?
Really enjoyed it. We got Valhos in the building. As always, we got Lego
Val.
My Ego. We got Devon.
What up,
Mr.
Devon?
Sandman.
Bring me a dream.
We got Sal. Who else we have in here
Hey,
today?
Sal. We see you in there.
The people who were into it were really into it. So I got to scroll past a lot of repeat names on this one.
They were in there.
I think we might just... Brian C. in here
What
today.
up, Brian?
Thank you to Brian. I'm sure Brian Knight was probably in here as well. I'm sure Al, the 2-minute warning, was probably in here as well. Thank you, everybody, for coming through today. Don't tell any Wilt lies this weekend. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications each and every time we go live. And if you hit the thumbs up button, we will collectively do a better job of answering questions on whatever the next game show is we have on the show. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to super producer Bree.
Thank you, Bree.
We'll catch you on Monday.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.